besties, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today let's talk about some closed door romances. Sometimes I don't want the spice, I don't want the smut, I just want a cute little romance. These books are usually called closed door romances or fade to black, where they have some like spice in them, but nothing like explicit on the page. So I picked 5 of my favorites and then 5 that are on my TBR. So let's jump right into them. So starting off, I have The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. All of Sarah Adams' books are closed door besides the rule book, and it only has 1 chapter in it. So The Cheat Sheet follows Nathan and Bree, and they have been best friends for forever. But Bree has always had a huge crush on Nathan. She is like a ballerina dancer, and he is the star quarterback for an NFL team. And one night after drinking a little too much, she spills to the reporter how much she's in love with him, basically. And the whole world is basically like, they need to be together. They seem perfect for each other. So to get good press for the Super Bowl coming up, they're going to fake date for a few weeks. And obviously, you know, when there's fake dating, there's lines that are crossed, and it's like, are they really faking it? Are they doing it for the cameras? Things get a little twisty, and it's their relationship. And I loved it so much. It had me kicking my feet. It had me laughing out loud at certain points. Like when his teammates are making up like the cheat sheet for him, I was on the floor giggling. I mean, it was so cute. I highly recommend her books. They're so much fun. They're typically pretty fast paced. They're super easy to understand, and they just give like a really good rom-com type of feel. Then I have The Bodyguard by Katherine Centers. Again, I believe all of her books are closed door, but I've only read like 2 or 3 by her, and The Bodyguard has been my favorite. So this follows Hannah and Jack is like a big Hollywood star. I don't know if he's a singer or a movie star or something along those lines, and he ends up having a stalker, and his mom falls sick, so he has to go home to Texas to kind of stay with her and kind of help the family throughout what they're going through. And he doesn't want to let his mom know that he's a stalker. He doesn't want her to be worried about him, so he hires Hannah as his bodyguard, and he tells them that they're dating in order to have her like there without like raising any red flags. So they're going to fake date in front of his family. And I love this one so much. I love that she was like the protector in this, that she was the one like standing guard. I loved it so much. I love the small town aspect of it. I love like the celebrity aspect of it too, of like what was going on with him. I just think they're really fun, and it gives you again that like rom-com vibe, and there's no spice in your face. Then I have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. So this follows Meredith, and every year they go to like this vineyard for like this family vacation, except this is the first year they're going back after her sister has passed. And on top of that, her boyfriend has now just dumped her like 2 weeks previously, and now she's out of a date for this family wedding that they're going to. She just kind of wants to lay low, just kind of go through the motions. But her family every year does this game called The Assassins, where you basically like have to take out other family members, and like I think they use like water guns, or they do something along those lines. And then her like objective is to get this really cute groomsman out of there. So, and I can't remember his name. So during this whole thing, she's trying to like take him out and then like enjoy family time and all this kind of stuff. And it is really cute. It's a very pretty like cutesy cover, but it handles like grief and trauma and that kind of stuff. And it's done like very beautifully while simultaneously like healing and kind of falling in love. It's marketed as like a contemporary young adult romance, but I feel like it falls more on like new adult kind of, but that might just be my personal opinion. And it's really cute. I thought the writing was really done well. The story flows very easily, and it's easy to understand. Highly recommend this one. Then one that took me totally by surprise, I have Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. So this follows Mallory and Nolan. They play chess, and I didn't think chess could be as hot as it was in this book. And like when I tell you it was hot, like there's no spice, but I was still like blushing. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy, I know. So Mallory and her dad played chess like in tournaments when she was younger. She was really good. And then something kind of happens during like a tournament type thing, which leads to her family now being divorced. And she's like, I'm swearing off chess. It ruined my life, yada, yada, yada. And then one day her friend's like, just try this tournament, see how you do. She hasn't played in forever. And she ends up beating Nolan, who is like the bad boy of chess, and he is like the #1 player in the world. Which sounds crazy that he's like a bad boy of chess. Okay, I get it, but it was still so cute. So in order to kind of like help her family's financial situation, she decides that she's going to start playing chess again. And Nolan's like, I want to play against you again, and it's kind of their little relationship throughout. And it is so much fun. Like I didn't think I'd be this involved in chess ever in my entire life, if I'm being completely honest with you. But Ali Hazelwood's writing is such a way that it just kind of sucks you in, and like I know nothing about chess, nothing at all, and I was so invested in the story. Crazy. It's a YA contemporary romance, but it still had me like giggling and like blushing for no reason. I mean, you're reading about chess, and I was still like, huh. I'm having so much fun. Highly, highly recommend. Then I have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. So this follows Tiffy and Leon. And she kind of goes through like a breakup or something where she needs like a new place to stay. And Leon's like, yeah, sure, you can have my house because we work opposite shifts. We'll never see each other. They've never met each other. And they basically communicate via sticky notes. And when I tell you, I was not vibing with this book at the beginning. Okay, Leon's point of view is very confusing. It's very jumbled, it feels like. And then as I kept reading, I'm like, wow, this is actually what living in my head feels like. And I kind of like started to flow with the story a little bit more. I think it's very cute. I love that like majority of the book is just them like writing back and forth to each other, which I think is really cute that like they never cross paths. But the first few times that they do, giggling, kicking my feet. I love that it was dual POV. You have that contemporary romance in there. You have forced proximity because they're living in the same house, but they're never crossing paths. So it's a very weird take on forced proximity, but still it was so much fun. And now for the books that are on my TBR that are closed door from what I understand. So I have Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. I think all of Lynn Painter's books are closed door. Don't quote me on that, but I know Better Than the Movies is. So this follows Liz and Wes, and Liz has had this crush on this guy named Michael for like forever, and he ends up like moving away from school and then coming back. So Liz is like, I am going to make him my prom date. I want him to fall in love with me type of thing. And Wes and Michael kind of hit it off and they kind of have like this budding friendship. And Wes is Liz's annoying but extremely attractive next door neighbor. And she's always thought of him as like annoying. They've always like pulled pranks on each other and she just doesn't really see him in that way. But she's like, listen here, my guy, you're gonna help me land this prom date. And they kind of work together. And obviously when they're stuck together and they're like hanging out, they kind of fall for each other and it's their relationship. Everyone raves about this book. I see it all the time, so I'm highly looking forward to it. I just haven't picked it up because I don't know why. I truly can't tell you why, but I don't know. I don't know. But it's definitely on my TBR and it's definitely on my radar and definitely one I want to be picking up sometime soon. Then I have The Quit List by Katie Bailey, and this follows Holly and Jack. So Holly is looking for like the one. She is very dead set on like she wants to find her person, the one she's going to spend the rest of her life with. And Jack is the one who's like, absolutely not. I don't believe in love. I never want to settle down, yada, yada, yada. And she meets Jack one night when she's having a horrible date and he basically rescues her from it. And she's like, listen here, I'm trying to find the one. Why don't you help me out with that? And it's their little budding friendship from that. And obviously, my guess is when like, you know, they're spending time together, lines get crossed. Happens all the time and I eat it up every single time. I thought this cover was really cute. I was kind of looking for more like closed door romance recs and I was like, this one seems very interesting. I've never heard about it before and it's on Kindle Unlimited, which is great. A better incentive for me to read it. I just think it sounds really fun. I think this falls under like contemporary romance. You have opposites attract. It sounds very rom-com vibe, so it definitely piqued my interest. Then I have Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. So this follows Ren and Fitz. And Ren has lived off the grid for like her entire life. She doesn't know what an iPhone is. I don't believe she has any social media, doesn't have a TV, nothing like that. And she lands a spot at a university and she's like, this is my big break. I am going to experience life for the first time. And in comes Fitz, who is also going to the same university. And he kind of like wants to graduate at the top of his class. He wants to get his criminal record wiped clean. Don't know what's going on there. And he just kind of wants to fake it till he makes it. And they have like a class together or like a project that they have to work on and they go on this road trip together. And it's them kind of figuring out like their differences and like how they kind of intertwine. Sounds very cute. I love the cover. It immediately sucked me in and I was like, this seems very interesting. I love when you have like a girl or a guy where they don't really know kind of like what life is even really like. I think it adds such an interesting aspect to a story. It also gives those rom-coms, early 2000 vibes really. For me at least, you know, like the college aspect, them working together and then like, not like teach me, but kind of teach me vibes. Very, very interesting. Then I have two Christmas books on my TBR that I really want to get into during Christmas time. So I have The Christmas You Found Me by Sarah Morgan, something like that. I can't remember her last name. The synopsis of it sucked me in immediately. And if you had to guess, single dad. Immediately. So this follows Sienna and Guy. And Sienna owns like some like farmhouse thing in Idaho, Wyoming, a state like that. She is really going through it. I believe she's recently got out of like a bad marriage. She's going through a divorce and her sister has recently passed away or something like that. She's just kind of going through the motions. And then Guy has a young daughter who is very sick and he has to prove that he makes enough money to get some sort of medication for her. So he answers an ad which he thought was fake, which must be something that Sienna put out. So they are going to get married to kind of benefit both of them. So you have marriage of convenience, you have like the Christmassy vibes, because I don't even know, it's during Christmas time. I don't know what kind of anything else, I just know it's during Christmas time. And you have single dad. So immediately I was like, yes, put that on my list. That's really all I know. It just sounds really cute. I love the vibes of it. I mean, I'm going to eat it up, I know, immediately. And then one that I see all the time, all over TikTok, Instagram, everything like that, is Baggage Claim by Julian Smith. And this follows Olive and Finn, and Olive has like not come back to her hometown in quite some time. And then her mom calls her and says like, you need to come home. And on her flight home, she meets this stranger that she like confesses all her feelings like that she's going through to. And he's like, listen, I will be your fake boyfriend that you told your mom you had, and we're gonna fake date to mutually benefit him. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but I see this cover constantly all over the place, so I feel like it's supposed to be really good, at least from what I understand. You got that fake dating, love that. It has like the little Christmas vibe, she's coming home for Christmas. And I feel like there's a new one that just kind of came out in this kind of series. Don't know if they're interconnected standalones, not sure how that goes, but it just sounds very cute and I want to read it. So those are all my closed door romance recs. I hope you found one to put on your TBR. Let me know if you have any that I need to put on my TBR. And as always, thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Love yous!